Welcome to Lesson 3. In this lesson, we're going to use the knowledge that we already have about the white keys on the piano to identify the black keys that we haven't yet talked about. In addition to that, we're going to learn two new concepts, whole steps and half steps. So let's get started. We already know how to identify the white keys on the piano. We know that because this is an island of 2, the note to the left is a C. We can go up from there. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we get back to C. Now, using that knowledge, it becomes very simple to identify the black keys on the piano. For example, let's say I'm starting here with a note I know to be C. This accidental note, just to the right of it, we're going to call C sharp. And that's going to be true for all the accidental keys in the piano. So once again, I know that this is a D. The accidental just to the right of that is going to be D sharp. This is F and F sharp. That's G, so G sharp. And lastly, that's A, so this is A sharp. And then we get back up and we're back to C and C sharp. So once again, just to review that, I've got C sharp and D sharp in my island of 2. I have F sharp, G sharp, and A sharp in my island of 3. Now, the concept of whole step and half step is going to help us talk about this with a bit more precision in our language. A half step is any note just immediately to the right or left of the one that we are playing. Let's start on C. If I go a half step up, that means I would be going from C to C sharp, because that's the closest thing I can play. If I were going from C to D, I would have skipped C sharp, which means it is no longer a half step. So once again, a half step up from C is C sharp. A half step down from C is B, because there is no black key or no accidental in between them. So half step up to C sharp, half step down to B. A whole step is simply 2 half steps. So let's take a look. I'll take C again as my starting example. A whole step up from C, I go 1 half step up to C sharp, and then I end up on D. So if I want to talk about the distance between C and D, that's a whole step, because it's 2 half steps away. If I wanted to look at the note that is a whole step down from C, I would go from C, half step to B, half step to A sharp. So once again, a whole step up would be to D, and a whole step down would be to A sharp. And using this language, it's going to be a lot easier to talk about things like scales, chords, and just the intervals between notes. So just to review, we identify the black keys on the piano by looking at the natural key just to the left of it and using that to name it. So C and C sharp, D and D sharp, etc. We can talk about the intervals between notes using the terms half step, which refers to any tone that is immediately to the right or left of that key, or whole step, which is simply 2 half steps.